Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love once again. Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and maybe it's coming through. I'm feeling it coming through. There's some excitement in my voice today. I am so excited. I'm so thrilled. I'm so grateful for all of you who are finding your way here, whether it's in the live or whether it's in the later. You're tuning in, you're checking in, and I truly honor and appreciate that for you. Happy Sunday to you all. Sincerely, praise God. Live without fear. Know the love who you are. I think today is going to be a fun one for sure, because as in, implied in the title, there's already a surprise guest here waiting for me to get through it and get to the point so we can get to them. Brothers and sisters, in the back of me is love. In the back of the stream, love is the answer. These things all go together. And here today, the thumbnail, these observations, these words might apply to you. The sensitive souls of this world, those with a fierce passion for justice and a sharp eye for patterns and deception, honed through trauma, they are uniquely made for these strange times. There is a kind of magic woven into our madness. There is a magic underneath all the chaos. And if you consider this, it makes sense. A child that's brought up without the real comfort and safety, or different periods of life, we all go through this where we have to realize the comfort and safety may not be there as well as we think. And so if you don't feel safe and comfortable, you've got to get that eye, man. You got to learn. You got to pay attention. So children who've been through the darkness, a lot of those children starting out in the darkness, they develop some incredible spiritual gifts. And the spiritual gift I want to point us to is this power, this crazy power that makes people crazy. Love. Love. To genuinely love yourself today, you must fully embrace the life lessons and the experiences that you found in the past. And life can be crazy sometimes, there's no denying that. But the methods of madness, they become clear to those who overcome their fears. And brothers and sisters, today, let today be special for you. The topic, things are not always as they seem, and how love wins. Our guest today is another one who shines brightly, right? There's clear, signs of challenges and obstacles, but it doesn't stop this one, not at all. So I'm going to bring in a fun friend and a star well known by many. Welcome, dear Rose. How are you today? You're muted, dear. Muted.
Fuck. Hello, Jack. Thank you so much for having me here today. It is a pleasure and a privilege and an honor to be here. I am here for you to facilitate a productive discussion, I hope. When we speak, you know me, I like one-on-one human interactions. I like studying human specimens and get to know them on an intimate level. And then it's up to me to decide whether I use that information for good or bad, for manipulation and deceit, or for altruistic purposes. And so I am here today as an equally broken, disturbed person who faces lots of challenges. Jack, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Obstacles, yes, we all have them. And then I want to promote the idea of taking action, Jack. And so in the past, when we've tried to have discussions with Tommy, I've been wanting to give you the opportunity to present and make your argument for the value that you wish to bring, right? Right? We want to articulate these things. We want to potentially have a book where you could articulate it to a large quantity of individuals instead of this gutter of a place on YouTube, which is equivalent to a MMORPG video game, an addiction to distract us from our very damaged selves. We have serious issues, Jack. You and me together, we need to recognize that we are not fit to be a guru until we face our own problems. And you expressed to me that you recognize that I have things to face. Is it guilt? Is it shame? No, I don't think so. I think it's anger, Jack, because people are so fucking stupid. But we have to live with the stupid people, and they will go at war with each other. And this, I think, is a point of contention with your message. And then, of course, there is the issue of you being a false prophet and a fake ass Christian. And these are the things we must address if you and I are to get what we want. And what is it that we want, Tommy? I'm sorry, what is it we want, Jack? We want Tommy's love and acceptance. So that's
True.
where I'm coming from today. How does that make you feel?
You're amazing.
You're amazing, Jack. We're all special. But just because we're special doesn't mean that we're going to make a difference. I know you want to make a difference. So today we need to talk about how can you use your special gift? Because you are so special too. Just like Tommy's special, and just like I'm special, and just like Snafu is special, and just like Flow State is special. We all are special. But you have a special purpose. You have a message. So you need to spread that message. What is your message, Jack?
It truly is love. Love is there beyond our excuses, beyond our blame. Love is the power that unites us all, and it moves us all, whether we realize it or not. And I hadn't. Can I gotta jump down to the chat for a couple of things. I forgot. Not jump out, but address the chat to divert
Okay.
the conversation. Sorry. Because breakfast tacos, blessings to you, brother. Thank you for hosting the debate yesterday. It was truly a joy. And in the description of the video is the link. I'll drop the link again a little bit later. But if Taco's still around, I wanted to catch him while he was popping through. And that debate was an interesting one. But let's get back to this, to today.
Okay, so you were talking about the idea of love, Jack. Okay?
Yes.
Love, all right? Love is good. But love isn't always necessarily the answer in some situations because in people like us, where the universe has kicked our asses to the point where something has popped in our brain, which made us psychotic, right? Our unique brand of craziness.
Mhm.
So, despite the fact that we've been through so much to the point where nothing can hurt us anymore, we still psychotically are head over heels in love with fucking everyone. Isn't that right? We
Yeah.
just love everyone, even people who are mean to us or yell at us. We just can't help it, and there's nothing anyone can do. We have that love in our hearts. But you need to remember that there are some bad, evil people out there, and that we shouldn't just love everyone unconditionally. And that's what I think we need to get back to is that do you actually believe, Jack, that there is a spiritual war and a fight between good and evil? Because if that's true, then how could we end all wars? Because if you are in that camp of belief, then it would be impossible and against the whole point of this schoolhouse earth. But you could also just completely reject the religion of Christianity and say that maybe you're a Luciferian. Maybe you believe that you are going to become a god because that's Luciferianism, Jack. So I think maybe that's kind of what Tommy's trying to explain. And what I like that he does is he points out my own hypocrisy and lets me see me for the evil, hook-nosed Christ that I am. And I want to be a better person. I want to improve myself, Jack. But I don't believe that I could ever be perfect or be Jesus. And so I think a lot of people like Tommy and Christians who are upset with you is they don't think that you even know enough about the Bible and that maybe you should read it. So if you read the Bible and knew what it was actually about, then maybe you wouldn't piss them off so much.
And there is truth there. If I was stronger in my knowledge and memory of scripture, I'd probably find less attacks.
Yeah, you don't talk about things you don't know about. I try so hard not to talk about things that I don't know about because I know about a lot of things.
Right.
And there's so many topics where I don't know shit about. Fuck, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Me
So
too.
what is the value that you want to bring? Like, let's just say that you were in Washington, D.C. right now, and I'm someone in Congress. And I'm one of those evil bastards that the Christians talk about exist, the evil ones. How are you going to express and articulate yourself to convince me to help you initiate this change to save humanity from this disgusting, torturous existence that we must all endure?
Well, I love the question because what brings me to these ideas is logic and reason. My faith in God and the way I explain it is just a little extra to consider because my message of love, what I mentioned, beyond the excuses and blame. And that's where I found my own healing. Once I confronted my own excuses, my own blame, which were my reasons to have my fear and anger. Once I got rid of those, I became free. And that's what I know is going to be true for America as well. When the governments and corporations are no longer protecting secrets and selling lies, right? We buy the lies. We pay subscriptions to the news and all these other liars. So when secrets are no longer protected, the illusions, well, the power, when secrets are no longer legal, the power of wealth and authority will be shared. Is the truth.
The power of wealth and authority will be shared. So you're saying that it will be distributed equally? The wealth and the power will be distributed equally? Is that what you're saying? And who
We're
is the
gonna
arbiter of how it will be distributed? If there's no government, is it going to be you, Jack?
no. This is what the truth. We go to the facts, not the here. I know this is the way I'm explaining it can be perceived as making no sense. But what I'm suggesting is we get these people out of the way. No one person is going to solve or do anything. But this is the American way. They put all the responsibility on others. So what I'd love to speak to the men and women in Congress about, to include Donald Trump and Musk and all these others, is stop fighting. Republicans, Democrats, those are pretend, they're not real. So if they stop fighting and they work together for one reason, we want to end wars. Well, to end wars, we must communicate. And to communicate, we must be open. And to be open, there should be no secrets. The government has declared war on its citizens by keeping secrets. I mean, that's one case that could be made. And I want peace in the world. And I truly think it just makes sense. The world is at war with itself and each other because of secrets and lies. Nothing else.
So, how are you going to prevent everybody from lying?
Mm. It's not up to me. It's these ideas right now today through the investigating journalism, the individuals submitting their Freedom of Information Act requests, right? Individuals are looking into these things, asking questions already. But it's challenging to put the pieces together when everything is redacted and, withheld due to classifications. But the common people, you're a part of this, Rose. What you've been doing is that's what you do, right? Putting the pieces together and showing the people, hey, hello, there's some crazy sauce going on, right? So if we can unite as people, bringing in the influence and abilities of the wealthy and those in positions of leadership, man, we can reform this world so quickly together. When people aren't slaves to 2, 3 jobs, paying bills on education from 30 years ago, right? It's crazy what this world has become. You bring some very good points, Rose. What do you think about opening it up? Should we continue just us for a bit, or should we open up for others?
We've got to open it up, Jack.
That's
Jack.
what I was
I'm here
thinking.
to open up. We're here. We set our intentions. We explain where we're coming from. Let's hear from the people. I don't know anything about your audience, and let's find out. What other people's take on the situation is.
Well, while Tommy was mentioned, I haven't noticed him in the chat yet, but I am hopeful that he may join if he happens to swing through. And others who want to join the conversation, hey, we've got our first guest already. Another very popular shining star, fan favorite, in fact. Welcome back, Miss Daisy. How are you today, friend?
I'm good.
Hi.
What's up?
Nice to meet you. I'm Rose.
Yeah, I gotcha. How you doing?
We're good. You look lovely today, Daisy. How are
Yeah,
things going? Well, good.
I'm gonna. I can be just. I'm in my work shit. I'm not. I'm been doing not working. I've been doing stuff.
You've been
I,
productive.
I I wanted to show myself to get up here so you wouldn't think it was somebody else.
Fair enough. Thank you, Daisy. And
All
we've
right,
got
here we
a
go. You like my horn rim light blue glasses? Aren't they pretty? Hold on. Aren't they pretty?
they are.
Yeah.
And it's like the what is that? A Jaguars? Whew. I'm hot, baby. I'm hot. I'm hot.
All right. Thank you. Hey, we've got another guest here. It's a wild card one.
I actually come in for a reason. Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
please.
I
let
mean,
her
you
That's
can
what I
let
was
them
going to
up.
ask. That's what I was going
Well,
to ask.
go ahead, let them up. Whoever it
No,
is.
please, Daisy.
No,
It's
I'm gonna. Hey, listen, I'm gonna try to mind my p's and q's today. But I watched your deal last night, and it was a total shudder. And I just kind of wanted to. Are you? I got a couple questions for you, man. I got a
okay.
couple questions. That's all.
No,
Let that other person up here.
well, this is what I wanted to caution. It's snafu, and actually, he's been active with my life too. So let's bring him up. Daisy, thank
Well,
you for.
I just kind of. Are you maybe not a little culted? Did Did you maybe find a cult and then you're culting? I don't know. I'm gonna sit back and listen. Go ahead and let him up.
All right.
I haven't talked to Snafu.
All right.
Maybe
thank you,
he's
Dave.
got something.
Oh, I'm gonna mute
Rose,
you. Snap.
how's it going, Rose?
Snafu, thank you for being here. I know that you also are trying to help Jack in trying to follow the correct path so that he can become
Well,
the right.
if we got to be honest, I was quite surprised to see you on this panel because, as you know, I've been trying to reach out to Rose for a Nacho Quifa interview about Nacho Quifa optics. So, I was super excited to see you here on Jack's panel, because I still think the Nacho Quifa optics need to be put out, Rose. But other than that, good to see you. Jack Talcott.
And
just so you know, Jack Tells episode 2 is coming out very soon, Jack. I know you're excited for Jack Tells. You told me personally.
Snafu, I just want to clarify that I am not here today to speak about anything about trying to get Jack on the right path. And we are kindred spirits because we are both royally fucked up and need help. And I guess
you and Jack,
some of the things that piss people off about Jack.
Yes. Yes.
A lot of times he will reference Jesus, and he doesn't really talk about the resurrection and the blood of Jesus and all that stuff. And so if he learned more about the purpose of Jesus in that religion, then he wouldn't piss off Christians so much. Would you agree with that, Snafu?
I would agree. The shortest verse in the Bible is when Jack starts talking and being blasphemous. Jack, do you know what the shortest verse in the Bible says?
I would agree that you both need help.
There you go. When Jack tries to talk God, Jesus is weeping.
Oh, Snafu, I answered your question. Recognize I answered your question. Your Bible trivia.
You surprised me. You did know a common knowledge to shortest verse. Good for you.
If you actually gave me
now tell me what John 3:16 says. Just go for it.
John 3:16, is that the one? So he loved the world so much he gave his son to the world.
Good. This is what we're wanting you to do. Get in the doctrine, brother. Yes, Rose, I agree. If he started studying and learning doctrine instead of making doctrine up, people like Tommy and myself would probably be a little less agitated.
Yes. And see, I feel like I would agitate more if I could find Jesus. And I understand that all of the coolest people I know that are Christians say that you have to actually read the Bible and you read the word, and that could provoke that feeling that I see people have where they.
If I may, Rose, I got to be this is to those who have a tablet unto the heart. The Mandela effect Bible changes is real. Yes. And I believe because of these Mandela effect Bible changes, it is ushering an Antichrist Bible, Antichrist world for those who understand what changes happen and the doctrine changes. So when people like Jack read it now, he's actually going to think like it's such a great tool what they've done with this whole man, because, the Antichrist, they got to trick everyone. Well, now that Bible is new age, darker, doctrine has been changed, grammar, punctuation errors, and it gets real. So like Jack's gonna actually, if he does study it, he's actually not studying when it said right as a tablet into your heart. So this is a tricky situation.
Yeah, if you love you mean it, but you lose them when you start getting in it. If you just I love Snafu. I do. I think he's pointing out. I do. Well, do I not?
Well, I think Daisy, you pointed out the facts too. Jack is blasphemous and needs to get real with it.
Yeah. Well, I know I know you guys want to believe that, and you want others to believe.
This wasn't planned. This wasn't planned.
No. I know. This is God's working. No. We've got another guest.
This is not scripted. This is not
Snafu.
WWE.
Snafu,
I don't talk to Snafu, but back behind shit or nothing.
I know. You're pretty straightforward, Daisy. I get that.
Yeah, but I'm trying to decipher, Snafu. I love you, mean it, and I'm trying to decipher this shit. Okay, by myself.
Well, did you see Jack's boss? Jack's ex-boss did an interview on my channel called Jack Tells.
Yeah, I did.
And Jack's
I
boss
did watch
actually
that.
explained.
And that's why Snafu, listen, that's why I just asked him, was he
Charles
not in a
was
cult?
your ex-boss, don't
hold
lie.
on, Snafu, hold on. That's why I asked Jack if he was not in a cult. For him to come back and get snarly, and the time Jack's he gets snarly when you do that, like his ex-person that he worked for.
Hey, Daisy.
Oh, he's gone. I'm sorry.
Right, Daisy. I've been sitting here patiently while you and Snafu talk about me.
That wasn't planned. That was not planned.
I know, Daisy. I know. We've got another guest in the back, too. It's another wild card, and I'm going to bring you back up, Snafu. But please, the only thing I ask at this point, please try not to overtalk everybody.
Okay, I promise I won't. I want to say this. If something happens where you need the cat, if you need the cat taken care of, I am publicly saying the crew will help take care of the cat because we don't want another cat dying upstairs or being connected to some Chinese.
Jack, I really need it.
I'm
Hold
losing
on,
my
man.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, King Stephen. I'm so glad you
Hi, Rose.
point. I want to see Jack. Tommy and King Stephen can get along, even though Stephen's an atheist.
Rose, you're like so.
So what I'm saying, Jack, is that there is a way. You don't have to believe like Tommy believes. It's just that you're representing his most passionate, important thing to him in the wrong way. So we could learn from King Stephen on how we could try to
Well, I wouldn't call myself an atheist, though. Just sorry to interrupt, but I do believe in an afterlife, and yeah, I do believe that I have a spirit and stuff like that.
You're a soul trap guy. You're a soul trap guy, right?
I'm a king.
Oh, sorry.
That's how I describe myself. But Rose, I came on in hopes of seeing your tattoos. Are you going to show your Iron Maiden tattoos?
Why are you? Why are you bringing this up? And why? What did I say
just
about
randomly? Because we're friends. That's all.
But why are you? Who even brought? When did I say anything about tattoos?
Right.
It just popped into my mind when I saw you.
Right, Stephen. Please learn what you're doing, dude.
Hi, Jack. How are you doing today?
Stephen, I don't know how I could physically show you that because they're on my back. All of them are behind me.
Oh, you don't have any on your arm? Okay.
No, I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Jack. It's been on my mind for weeks, but I haven't run into Rose in a while.
Stephen, please. I was reviewing the stream.
I'm wearing a shirt of one of my tattoos, though. That's what a dork I am. One of my tattoos is this. This is the one that's actually on my butt.
Oops. Oh, wrong one. Wrong one, Rose. Sorry.
It's the Killers tattoo from the Killers album, and I fucking love Iron Maiden. And when I was paralyzed, I was always afraid that people were going to see my butt crack transferring in and out of the car. And I thought, if I accidentally ever moon someone, at least they'll get to see the album cover. But it's not all the way down. It's just like to the side, snap-ish. But they had to make it big so that the detail was there.
Awesome. See, Jack, this has actually turned out perfect. It's a good moment for your show. Just roll with it. Yeah.
Hey, Stephen.
Yeah.
Your gaslighting has been a problem. Okay.
That's not gaslighting.
And what I'm referring to is your false narratives. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're not.
Jack, that's not false. That's asking.
Stephen, what I've been trying to say, I reviewed the stream on Friday and I noticed your pattern stood out pretty darn clearly for me again. Your interruptions, your random thoughts that just distract, deflect, and just bring chaos to the conversation, Stephen. You can do better, brother.
Brother, I'm just trying to help out your show. I'm here.
Not.
I'm here to support Talcott.
Stephen, you're not helping when you're interrupting, distracting, deflecting, talking over people.
I'm being very polite and waiting for people to speak.
in this moment, as I said, I reviewed Friday today, and it's not the first time, Stephen, and you've joined, and already I've been getting to deal with you. So, Stephen, your interruptions and your disagreements, you receive an awful lot of my attention.
I'm not disagreeing.
It does not help me. So can we do better, please?
Yes, I'm here to help, Jack. I'm not here to disagree or interrupt. I'm a big fan of Talcott, and I'm a marketing genius, and I would like to help out your show.
I look forward to seeing that. Daisy, thank you. Welcome back. I put you in the back because
welcome back, Daisy. Cheers.
Okay. I don't mean to be. Thank you. And I don't mean to be rude, but golly geez, man, how long do I have to suffer through the ignorance and nonsense?
Well,
every day.
Last night on that deal, you spoke about egos. You speak about it here, and it's your ego, dude.
Is it?
It's yours.
What
I don't have so much as an ego where I sit in a fucking house and be counting down days.
Daisy,
you know what I'm saying?
Daisy, we might have.
I got other stuff to say. You put me backstage. Go ahead, Jack. Put me backstage because you can't fucking handle the truth. You can't fucking handle it. Should I go, people? Should I go?
It's your show, apparently.
No, it ain't my show.
Well, Daisy, you scolded me because you had more to say. Remember?
No, you won't listen. You kick fucks out for not listening. You take God's name in vain more than I do, dude.
Are you sure?
You're not.
Is
you're
that
not.
Daisy? Hey, Daisy. I don't know how to communicate with you when you refuse to accept what's true. So
there's no way.
I'm going to go ahead and continue without you, Daisy. Your interruptions have not been healthy or helpful today. El Perro, welcome to you, brother.
Greetings, everybody.
Hello. I had never met Daisy before, and I was interested in learning more about her message. And it sounds like you guys haven't gotten along, and that this is another person that maybe one day we could figure out how things can work out.
Rose, you're so right. Thank you.
But you made her leave.
She's still here.
Okay. We're gonna let her say what she wants to say for a little bit.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Thank you, Rose. And thank you, Daisy. Sorry for the interruption.
Hi, Daisy.
Hey, what's up?
How can we resolve, or what can we resolve, Daisy? Your opinions of me have been pretty low.
No, I just been because I'm watching. I'm watching what's happening from afar. And it's, I mean, hey, listen. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has a bunk life. Everybody's been through hell. Everybody's lost somebody. Everybody's done all this. Okay?
Amen.
But I'm thinking from what I heard that maybe you got influenced as a cult like I would have blamed you for being, and maybe, I don't know, I hope that's not what you're doing, but maybe you fell into one.
How would you know, Daisy?
Well, I listened to somebody that after you dropped your job and you wonder, you sitting here like they owe me something when you're the one that dropped out, and you could have been, it sounds like you could have been like tremendous in the postal shit world.
I know.
Okay.
I could have
but
been.
You're the one that dropped out and started going to these.
Daisy.
Hold on. You're not letting me finish. You started going to these what are they called? What's your shit called?
Mindfulness.
What is it? What's it called, guys? Somebody help me out.
Mindfulness practices.
Yeah. You started going to those deals, and started leaving work and not going to your shit and going to this stuff.
Hey,
And
Daisy.
it's like, no, hold on, I'm not done.
You're right. I'm sorry. My apologies. Please.
This is what you do. You turn circles. Ever since the first time I seen you, you did circles. You do circles. You cannot ever come out with nothing. It is a new age. I don't know what the fuck you're under. Okay? But
Hey,
it
Daisy.
sounds to me like your life was lost because you hooked up with the wrong motherfucker and went to this stupid shit telling you that you could solve all problems of whatever. Look at you rubbing your neck. You're angry. I'm telling you.
Is that right? You're telling me I'm angry?
I know you're uncomfortable. I know you're so fucking uncomfortable right now.
Take a breath. I've been patient. I'd like to speak, please.
I still ain't done.
I want to say something.
Please.
You ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah, oh no, I was just gonna say that I like what I was gonna try and reflect what you're saying and make sure I accurately comprehended, because I think I'm on the same page with you. I don't have anything other to say than what you said, Daisy. Please continue if you don't want my commentary.
Oh, okay. So Rose feels the same way I do, Jack.
Yes, I was trying to explain that with my introduction, which is that sometimes there can be people that are acting like they're Christian when they're actually emulating more satanic or Luciferian ideas without realizing it.
I think he got hooked up with a cult. I think he fucked.
I think
he did.
Like, you think he's in an actual cult that has another leader and that he's looking up and copying another leader? That's what you're saying, Daisy?
I don't know how all that shit works. All I know is I knew he was cult-like when I first got here. But now that I know his background, he was in a cult.
Hey, Daisy. I've been sitting here patiently listening to you and Rose,
you're patient.
talking bad about you put me back. I've been listening to you guys talk about your doubts of me. And I'm really puzzled by this. Because, Daisy, what I just experienced with you has been a pattern for others. And the reason I'm speaking to myself right now is because you have patterns of interrupting me. This pattern I've experienced is, Daisy, what you're doing is you heard something from someone else. It confirmed your doubts. And so now I'm sitting here trying to answer to your prosecution. Rose, can you see what I'm experiencing here? I know you've got your doubts in me too, but you're muted, dear.
It's not that I doubt you, Jack. It's that I try to look at the world from a practical perspective, and I try to figure out ways that I can, make a difference in my immediate sphere of influence and work from there. So it's not that I have doubt you. It's that I have a different idea for strategy based on my own cognitive bias. And that's why we share. That's why we communicate, and we're open. And then when we see our friends going in a different direction, or that they could do better, or maybe focusing, we talk about it. Okay. Now, I understand here on your show, there's a lot of interesting characters with very outrageous personalities, and it can get kind of addictive, and you want to understand people and you want to have a camaraderie, but then there's all of this pushback, which is very fascinating to me. So yes, I absolutely am fascinated by this whole situation, observing all of these different humans and your insistence on interacting with them here. And maybe there are other ways that you can accomplish your goals rather than always talking to people that constantly oppose you. Or you can be like me, where I don't mind people telling me when I'm wrong, and I'm trying to listen and modify and recognize that maybe they're telling me something for a reason. So that's where discernment comes in. When people are telling us stuff, we have to figure out, okay, are they batshit crazy and wrong, or maybe so many people have said the same thing to me that I should take this into consideration, and I'm the problem and I screwed up and made a mistake. See what I'm saying?
Right.
So you have to find the right people that you can communicate with, feel are productive, and other people you throw them to the curb.
Well, I thought I had. Many people have chosen not to cooperate with me. And it's really been blowing my mind because I'm not claiming to be a Messiah. I'm not claiming to be a prophet. I'm telling people truth is important. Rose, I'm sitting here listening to Daisy falsely describe me, and you're entertaining her doubts, suggesting that, yeah, maybe Jack is crazy. Well, because I believe in God and love, and because I don't want to look at myself as a failure or incompetent like these other idiots want me to do.
No, Jack, that is not what I was saying or doing.
Well,
I'd never wanted you to feel that I was doing that.
So what is the goal? Trying to prove me wrong?
No, the goal is to try to help you reach your dream, which is to make a positive change in the world. And it's okay. The sky's the limit. You can have goals, but it's best to take baby steps and have small, like, a 1-year plan, a 5-year plan, maybe
Rose,
a 10-year plan.
Rose, I have so many game plans. What I don't have is people who respect me.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that, Jack. That's what we need, is you need a tribe of people that are willing to accept the fact that you have massive dreams that most people would think are impossible. But I commend you for sticking to it. But we just
Rose,
what?
It's not only the impossible dreams. For whatever reason, no one has accepted the reality of my life except me. And this patronizing look right now, Rose.
I'm not being patronizing. I'm trying to hear you and listen to you.
I can't believe this. You can't even Jack. Oh my God. Dude, you're lost. I told you something was off when I first got on this bitch. You're off.
Yeah. How about this? You're now off because you can't find anything good. So
Jack,
leave.
I need to remind you.
What happens if you're wrong, Daisy and others, and then what?
Jack,
Did you inspire a man to do good, or did you just get a laugh off of his downfall to make yourself feel better?
Yeah, I get a lot of heckling for coming up here with Jack now, and people saying I'm greasing Jack's balls. I'm not doing shit. And what it is realizing that I don't want to be the proponent that's sitting there tearing Jack down like I used to. If anything, I'm more like Rose. I appreciate his concept of wanting to speak to the world leaders, but at the same time, I agree with Rose that there's a level to it. So on my side, I'm going to local city council meetings and learning from my aspect, so that maybe I can help Jack in relations to that. I'm not here to dog bitch anybody anymore. Somebody mentioned a comment earlier in the chat about my anger is going to be the end of me. I hope you see the difference in me today than it was a long time ago.
Did you used to do that, though? Did you used to come here to dog Jack?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And Jack and I have been through that. That's why he lets me up on panel. I have been one of the worst.
No, I'm mentioning it for a reason, because you made progress. Then you're saying El Perro. Is that that's my understanding.
Ask Jack as he's nodding his head. Ask other people as they sit there and still dog me in the chat. They see the difference too. They see.
Well, I'm not dogging you. I'm not here to dog you.
Hold on. I need to have the opportunity to address Jack when he confronted me and accused me of being patronizing, because I need to clarify and remind you, Jack, of our very important off-air conversations, and remind you that I have something in my brain that broke and I am dead inside. And so, yes, everything I do is an act. So all of my facial expressions is me like an alien, half dead. My whole life is like Weekend at Bernie's, right? I'm just like lugging around a half dead body and I'm just pretending to be normal like the rest of you humans. And so, yes, if you see weird facial expressions,
I'm not human.
to conform. Okay, Jack? So I am with you, Jack. And anytime that I say anything like you're crazy, there's no way that you're as crazy as I am. Okay. So we are in this together. I'm not against you. I don't want you to feel defensive when I'm being honest with you, because that's what I'm seeing now, that you get defensive when you people who care about you give you a little honesty. So that's why I'm here.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
I'm done. That's what I want to say.
That is a false claim. I love when people are honest with me, but I do not love facing doubts and accusations and disagreements when, if you gave me a chance, I'm pretty easy to get along with. I mean,
we're all giving you a chance, though, Jack, and you're giving us a chance having us on here.
Are you? Have I been accepted as a man of value?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Should I go pull up your streams? Should I see what you're saying on your own channel about me?
By the way, Jack, I came here to defend you against Daisy's attacks. I was going to say, when Rose was speaking about Daisy, that Daisy is probably fueled by Bud Light and Southern Comfort. So I think maybe what Daisy's saying might be
making those assumptions. You know what? I'm sorry. Let me not criticize.
I'm just speaking the truth. No hatred at all. I think she's.
Why are we worried about somebody else other than ourselves?
You're speaking assumptions. And the assumptions.
She's usually drunk. She's usually drunk. It's really not that much of a
believing the worst, Stephen.
It's not the worst. It's just the way it is.
Well, what's your excuse then?
Well, I'm crazy. I'm not drunk. I'm just crazy.
You lack the people who show this.
I'm a mad genius. I have to be myself.
You're not as glorious as you've convinced yourself.
Very glorious.
Stephen, I'm losing patience here.
Go ahead, Jack.
I'm impatient.
Go ahead.
My favorite thing about King Stephen is that he thinks he's glorious. And I don't want that to change about him.
Yeah, well, he thinks he's
the ladies love my glory. They love it.
If these are actions of good faith, I would hate to see evilness.
I'm not evil, 5-speed. Don't even go there. Come on.
You're sure not positive or
you're being a very negative frog.
It's either good or bad, isn't it?
No, there's a whole spectrum. Go ahead, Jack. You have something on your mind?
Yeah, it's the same thing that's often there. What the fuck does God want me to do with this?
Well, God sent me here. I'm on a mission from God.
It doesn't feel like it.
Well, if you have a quarrel with God, you have to take it up with the guy upstairs. Hello, Tarek.
Hey, King Stephen, how are you?
Hi, Tarek.
I'm fantastic and
Rose,
glorious, magnificent. How are you?
I am great, man.
You see my crown?
Like Rose. Yeah, I see your crown. Just trying to be like Rose.
Did you see Lou Bass licking my boots earlier on OTW show?
Hey, Stephen.
Yes.
King Friday.
Yes.
Can I ask you to step back? Would you please? Or you're going to be gone, Stephen.
I was just trying to be polite.
So you claim. And what does your trying to be polite, what does that do to me? Do you think that helps me run this stream or do anything?
I'm trying to help the show, Jack. I'm trying to make it entertaining.
You keep failing because you're not paying attention.
Yeah. King Stephen, look at him. He's so irritated and he was so happy when the show started. Let's give the opportunity to Jack, the host, to turn everything around, reset the room. Jack, let's have a change of attitude, an attitude adjustment right now. And let's all practice love right now and end the war on this panel as an exercise.
Yes.
right now.
Great.
We're all
said.
love each other right now. Jack,
right now.
Smile,
Happening
Jack.
now.
Jack, smile.
Throw it back to Jack. High five to Jack and Rose. Thank you.
Hey, Stephen, why don't you learn to shut the hell up, first of all? Okay? Seriously, take a hint. Shut up, Stephen. Axis, I'm sure you're here because I've got King Friday here. How are you today, brother? What's going on with you? Are you there, Axis? Okay.
Yeah, we don't hear a thing you're saying, brother.
Guys, humanity does not need to be this difficult. It really doesn't. All people need to do is come into the present moment, relax, try to accept that people are here too. It's not just you. And I know it's fun. Everyone goes online. It's just a big, happy role-playing game. We got all these characters and dramas, and we want to just insult and call each other names. It's so much fun.
That's not fun.
Thank you.
Jack, I come in peace.
So you say.
I mean no harm. I mean no harm.
I know. But you're not paying attention, Stephen, and that's what's blowing my mind. How long do I have to suffer your ignorance and your I'm not trying to do anything. I'm here to help, Jack. How long do I have to suffer with your ignorance before you do as I ask? I mean,
but I thought we were going to play the game where we're all nice to each other, and even King Stephen wanted to play. And you can't even smile, Jack. So how are we going to end all wars?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I don't know.
What was it Stephen said? Go to God, right? Go to God. Ask God that, why Jack's not in a pleasant mood as much as he was. Holy cows, man.
And I think when we come to agreements, it's more about being stern, steadfast in the truth and not just being nice. I think when we set aside the niceties and get down to the real business, which doesn't have anything to do with smiling and laughing and joking, but really the details of truth. I think that's what Jack is looking for.
I totally agree with you, but I meant as a mental exercise, since things had gotten so heated and not productive, that we let Jack reset it and then try to have a productive conversation from there. But instead, what happened is it devolved into more insults and, ad hominem. But why don't we get back to the idea of Jack's goals and what Jack's purpose and intention of the stream was, and then as a panel follow his lead and see where we go.
I agree. Let's get back to Jack and let's let love win.
I appreciate that. I don't know what to offer to anyone to get anyone to take me seriously. I know there's people who do receive my value despite me constantly facing accusations and negativity. I know there is people who receive value through what God has me doing. And this is what it is. God has all of us doing what we want. People complain a lot, but if you didn't want to complain, you wouldn't complain. So you must want to complain, and the world, this realm we exist within, it's all mind. The all is mental. Life it's a mental game. You've got to figure out the strategies for yourself and get clarity on your rules. And for myself, I know even today I've been challenged, and I'll review it and I'll see where I could have easily done better. Love is my value. Love is the most important thing to me. It's the only thing that's important to me. I mean, I think my life is showing that. I've got 7 days left in the Talcott journey story. But hey, we don't need to talk about that. We need to talk about how Jack's a cult leader, or Jack's in a cult, or Jack's confused, or Jack's a liar, or Jack's an idiot. What kind of nonsense is this crap?
I know, Jack.
That was nonsense, but that's not all of our fault. That was Daisy saying that about you.
No, it's not just Daisy. It's all kinds of people, myself included, a couple of years ago.
But
and I want to point
make
out,
it positive,
let
though.
me fucking speak.
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Alparo. Go ahead.
So what I've seen in the past 2 years is just what Jack said. Everybody wants to come up and talk about the end of his lease. Ain't none of your fucking business to begin with. Second of all, Jack, that is not the end of your story. Okay? That is a crux of the story. Lo and behold, it's when the man is at his lowest that the greatest victory is becoming.
Brother, I actually think this is what's happening. And so if this is the case, brothers and sisters, realize, say that somehow I do, God allows me to succeed. All of you are a part of this story. And whether I succeed with your help or without your help, you're a part of this story.
Yes.
We're all in this story together. So the message I'm sincerely hoping to share with anyone who tunes in, if we want a better world, it's up to us. You want a better community, you become a better community. You want a better family, you become a better family. You want to become a better man or a woman, you do it. It's that simple.
Let's try to make it as positive as we can in the moment. We have 125 people tuned in, a great audience watching Jack. There are people that come here for value. They don't see no value or they wouldn't keep coming. I'm here all the time trying to listen and learn, doing my best. I've admitted that I am kind of crazy. Well, not kind of crazy, very crazy. I might be the craziest in the panelverse, but setting myself aside here. Let's keep it very positive and say that Jack has a message for over 125 people tuned in right now.
The message is, the truth shall set you free. Humble yourself to the truth. Rejoice in the truth. Celebrate the truth. Seek the truth. Share the truth. Align with the truth. The truth is now. Now is the only moment we are. So align with now and accept who you are and feel the peace. Practice. This is what I've been doing for myself, the practice of meditation. It's not just when you have time to go sit in the closet or go sit it's not just when you go sit. Meditation is the practice of mind, the stillness of mind, so that the heart may expand. And that's the practice I've been working on. Let me address.
Thank you, Jack.
Hey, it's all of you. Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
I get frustrated. I get rude. I get a little negative sometimes. And Rose, thank you. You called me out and encouraged me through it. Thank you. Tarek, welcome to you.
Thank Rose.
You. Yeah, I want to make sure you can hear me, Jack.
Yes.
Hi, Tarek.
Hey,
Okay.
King Stephen.
Did you have something, Axis? I didn't want you to get.
No, I'm just here to represent a lesser God.
A lesser God, what does
No
that
drama.
mean?
All right.
A what?
We don't all see things in the same spectrum.
And we can.
Hey,
Allow me
Rose?
my diversity.
Hey, Rose, can we talk about Jack's dungeon? How he should clean up his dungeon and not leave people in the dungeon as well as people like, Tommy's in there a lot. I'm in there a lot. Steven's in there a lot. Jack likes to keep the people in the dungeon when he sees them in there, but he doesn't.
So does
he likes to put narratives out instead of talking, conversating, and understanding each other. So it's a one-sided narrative as people are in the dungeon. Maybe we should talk about the dungeon optic. Go ahead, Jack. Go ahead.
I like dungeons.
What else could we talk about if we weren't talking about
you in 7 days? You said we're not talking about it. You got 7 days to get the fuck out. Let's talk about it. What are you gonna do?
Cat, Jack. What's going on with the cat? That's so important. We need to make sure the cat's going to be okay no matter what.
Yes.
The first cat died upstairs.
I asked him about the cat the other day. Snafu's roboting.
Yeah, like the usual.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop him. Well, the cat is just like me. I don't have any clear answers right now, but I know answers will come.
Okay, well,
So,
okay, but do you have like a
have faith,
credit
Jack.
card to put the cat in a hotel? If you have to leave the house, are you willing to go into more debt to take care of the cat since it's not the cat's fault that you're on this special journey?
What about adoption? Is it somebody want to
Right,
adopt a cat?
anybody to take care of this cat, like adoption, anything. I just don't want that poor little baby to go to a shelter. Jack, don't you
So,
want
No.
shelter?
Rose, so Rose, if I heard you clearly, did you just like make the statement that the cat was going to be in a certain place because of Jack's situations? Are you implying that Jack is putting the cat in a situation where she's not going to be taken care of?
I'm just
oh,
scared.
wait.
I'm just being paranoid, but there was just this idea that Jack might have to leave his house and go to Washington, D.C. And I just want to make sure the cat's going to be okay. If he's going to take the cat with him, that is so cute and awesome if the cat and him and can coexist in their journey. But it would be best if the cat had a loving home and stability and not freaked out. And I'm a cat lover. I have 5 cats. Otherwise, I would take the cat. But
Yeah, I
the cat
figured.
is a big deal to me. I care about cats. And so knowing that Jack is in a time of uncertainty and possible transition, I wanted to bring that up because that is important, Jack, and part of Jack's story. I don't want part of Jack's story to be that poor cat was inconvenienced in any way.
Hey,
So,
let me,
can I ask you? Go ahead.
please, thank you. I
You're
wanted
good.
to correct the record too about something I heard Snafu and Tommy saying. I didn't just leave the other cat in a box and make it suffer. That was a bunch of bullshit. See, this is the thing. There's so many.
Schrodinger's cat.
What's that?
Schrodinger's cat. It was in superposition the whole time, Jack. You're fine. Quantum state, man.
Well,
Suspension between possibilities. You have
mhm.
faith, Jack.
But what's that?
Do you have faith?
Yes.
Then why are you concerned? And why are these people concerned? If you have faith, then you have no fear. You have no doubt.
Right?
Yes, he has faith. That's for sure.
I have faith, but I
Yeah.
lack
Then the rest of you should follow through.
answers are the truth. The truth are the answers. God is the truth. I trust in God. I trust in the truth. I trust that I will align with the answers I need. And as far as the cat, I will make sure she finds. Worst case, here's the thing. I still have 7 days. All I need to do is find one person in Spokane, Washington, who might be willing to spend an hour or two trying to help me. Nothing more than that. That's all I've been asking for 7 years.
Wait, an hour? How are they helping you for only an hour going to solve a problem of your residents and the cat's well-being? What will occur during that hour?
Well, I'll no longer be alone. And assuming that someone helps me achieve conversations with anyone from my past, well, if I can get one door open from anyone in my past and have a witness with me like the Bible talks about, right? Snafu, and everyone wants to criticize me for a Bible, but here, we'll swing it back to my crazy ideas of talking to Trump and Musk too. When we have a disagreement with a brother, what do? You go get a witness. You go gather the church. You confront.
I agree.
I'm suggesting that we as a people confront the people we have problems with instead of just complaining about it. But then you end up with a January 6th type of event, and that's not what I'm suggesting.
No, you don't want that.
But I am suggesting that there's people alive today. Maybe my prayer is someday maybe they'll tune in and maybe I'll connect to someone who has wealth or authority, and we can use
Sounds to me like your God is failing you, Jack.
Is that what you heard?
That's what I'm witnessing.
He said your God's failing you.
ascension to success.
Rat blood worships Satan. He admits
Yes, he
to that.
does.
He
Yeah,
admits
he does.
to
He
this,
does. The Satan
Yeah.
worshiper.
Right. And so let me understand what he's saying. What
Is
are you
that
saying?
so? Well, from
Access.
my point of view, Jack,
Mhm.
your toil with the internet, YouTube, and your channel is one of the things that are restraining you from political advancement, especially in the arenas that you want.
Mhm.
So therefore, if you have faith in this channel and this panel, and you subsided it beside your God, he has failed you.
Access, you're not.
No?
It's not making any sense at
I
all.
don't agree. It doesn't make any sense. You certainly don't understand God in the way that I do, because God is now. God, there's no escape from God. God is now. We have a relationship with God and life and truth and love, but our relationship with anything, it's momentarily now. Now is all there is. Now is God.
And may I say, that's where you get your false projections of failure in the now time. Jack has not failed. That has not been proven. You've made a false statement. That is your opinion.
No, he hasn't achieved his goal.
You can have your opinion, but a goal is not a now time thing. It's a future tense, and that's what he's working on. When it will come, he knows not yet. But until then, you can't say that he's a failure because it hasn't come yet.
I didn't say Jack was a failure. I said his God was.
So his God, you're attacking the God.
Prove me
you're
wrong.
attacking God, period. Yeah, I know. You're attacking God, period. But you're allowed to say what you gotta say. It's all right. I understand.
Well, I'm here to represent a lesser God, not your
No,
God.
I understand.
You're here to represent confusion, is what you're doing, Axis. And I mean that. I'm saying this politely.
I'm sorry if I've been misinterpreted or incoherent.
No, you're being clear, but your statements make no sense because you're making assumptions.
I don't believe the way you do.
Right. And that's not my problem, but I'm speaking the truth. And so your narrative that you make up that my God has failed me or my God is failing me.
From my observation.
It's from your
observation.
From your mind, your interpretations, your assumptions. And
You
here's what
almost insulted me there, Jack. I have not insulted you yet.
I'm not insulting. I'm trying to explain the truth that I know. We within us, while the world presents and people present to us whatever it shows, our mind, through our subconscious and superconscious, we find what we want. And I'm encouraging you, want to understand me. Please, for these people who've known me a few years, please stop trying to prove me wrong and just consider what I'm saying.
Not proving
Well,
you
he
wrong,
worships
Jack.
Satan and he eats mice for dinner, so
Okay,
he
Jack,
might not be
persistent.
Let me jump in for a second because I'm going to have to head out in a bit. I have a hard stop soon. But Jack, I would like to attempt before I leave to see if I could grasp the situation since I'm not familiar with the panel verse and your audience and what you have to deal with here. So today has been a very interesting example of what you go through on your show. And I can see how upset you get. And it is fascinating to me that you continue to put yourself through this. So let me see if I understand where you're coming from, because I really have been trying this whole time. And that is that people like me, I'm a very, big planner. I got to plan everything in advance, and it drives everyone in my life crazy. It's probably a character flaw, how much I like to plan. And one of your messages is living in the now, in the moment, which in some cases is good for many people and something that I perhaps should adopt too. Maybe I would benefit from living in the now and being more zen about things. And as these 7 days are progressing, people are, pushing you, and it could be very frustrating because from your perspective, and correct me if I'm wrong, you feel inspired by a spiritual conviction to play it by ear, and you just wish people would leave you alone to find out what would happen. Now you want help. You are begging for help. But the idea of nobody's going to help you, you would like people to stop questioning that. And you are just going to be open to the possibility that maybe this help will occur and that we should just I mean, I don't want to say this because there's a negative connotation, but watch the train wreck happen, so to speak, instead of trying to jump in and change your point of view about your strategy. And that whatever happens when you do end up in Washington, D.C., it will be a learning experience for you to continue on with. Am I anywhere near accurate, Jack?
You're very close.
How should we help him, Rose? With prayer, or what do you suggest?
Here, this is the thing, and I don't know how to say it without sounding like a dick or whatever. I mean, I speak and people find all sorts of problems with what I say, but here's the reality. My life experience, leadership, that title, that concept has been a part of me. Okay. And I've been studying communication. Now you put communication and leadership together. I think that's what's lacking out of our governance, out of the corporations. We have wage slavery and wars because mankind has lost the ability to communicate with each other. It's biblical. And I believe we're living through continuing biblical times. And I believe there's reasons for all things, but God has given us these prophecies and predictions of some pretty horrible things, but at the same time has given us the instructions, has given us free will, and really each day, what will we choose? So Rose, here's where I am. I'm a leader who has I lead no one. And actually to work with me, I hope for leaders, not people for me to tell them what to do. And this is where it's been challenging for me, because if someone would learn from me, like if they put themselves in a student role, and I'm not placing myself above, but from what I've studied, I could help someone grow in their confidence, their own faith. And if someone had confidence and faith similar to mine, there would be no stopping us. Because what I'm talking about is trying to reunite a father with his son. I'm talking about a disabled veteran who lost his career, his income, his livelihood because of incompetence in the representation he received. Okay, I'm talking about bringing justice, not just to myself, but to the people in our streets, to the people dying in wars.
Amen, Jack. Amen. And one thing I would like to say, add to Rose, because Rose is pretty bright. I would give her that to a certain extent. Like she said, she is a planner, and I'm assuming she does her due diligence, right? So
he's buttering you up.
How would the due diligence come about with, like, for example, Nachi and other people that you planned on having with you and it didn't work out? I'm not trying to attack you. I'm just wondering, how did that work out?
Oh, come on.
Okay, wait. Like I said,
Tarek.
I really don't feel like it's fair to Jack to change the subject so much. And you have my number. I'm happy to talk to you at any time.
Sure, yeah, I will.
I'm willing.
Here's your phone number?
Whatever.
Yeah, I have a number. Sure, mine.
Don't give that guy your number.
Let her speak.
Tarek, what was your question? Because I couldn't even process.
No, my question, I wasn't trying to attack you in any way, but when you were giving advice to Jack, you sounded like you're saying to Jack, hey, Jack, do your planning. I plan things out, and you do your due diligence. I'm wondering if you do that, which I'm not saying you don't. How did that work out with some of the YouTubers that you invited on in your house and their work out? That's all. You don't have to answer it
irrelevant.
Right now. I'm just pointing out. No, it's contradiction. That's all I'm saying.
Sidetrack.
No, I have made terrible mistakes in judgment, and I am certainly not a perfect individual, and I don't want to talk about people who aren't here to defend themselves. But
yes,
all I can say is that there are people in this world, just like in this panel verse, that are compatible with each other, who are on the same vibe. And then, things don't always go as planned. So that's part of my spiritual journey, is that I can plan and plan and plan and plan, and then it doesn't go my way. And sometimes the more I try to control and plan, the more it backfires, right? For example, the perfect example is it's been an hour and 15 minutes, and Jack and I we're planning our stream. And it all started because he contacted me saying that he would love to have Tommy as a friend. And I'm like, look, I can help you with that. Let's discuss. And I wished that Tommy would come here and yell at us, and he hasn't. So I planned this, and it is a complete failure. So no.
Did he flirt with you, Rose? Did Jack flirt with you?
No. What are you
Okay,
talking about?
I'm sorry.
No.
Why did you
Anyway,
kick Tommy
never
out of
mind.
your house?
No, he did not.
You make a plan, and God makes a joke out of it. Believe
Right.
me.
And
Yeah.
Rose,
Yes.
actually, I'm glad you brought it back to the plans, because that was something you offered. You got to have a plan. And when I had my career and my family and my life, I thought I had plans. And what El Perro just said, right? We make plans, and God turns them into jokes. But I did learn that is a strategy for success. If you don't have a plan, you don't have a direction. If you don't have a direction, you've got no purpose. If you don't have a purpose, you're lost, right? It all goes together. You don't have a direction, you're lost. You don't have a lost, right? If you're lost, you have no planning.
So Tommy's your friend, Rose, but you kicked him out of your house. Could you tell us why?
Wait, who's my
Oh,
friend?
come on.
No, D-Freak, let's not go into this.
I know.
I'm sorry.
No,
D-Freak,
I've
go ahead.
never
Go
kicked
ahead.
anyone out of my house in my life. Who did I kick out of my house?
He's talking about Nazi, but again, D-Freak, we're not trying to talk about Nazi and bring it, even though I brought it up to, we're talking about something else.
Nacho
Okay?
Scrifa?
He
Oh,
thinks
come on.
He thinks I kicked Tommy out of my house. What the hell do you mean? Tommy is the most amazing person on earth, and I wish people could know how awesome he is.
I
So
see
he just
it.
left.
I do see it.
I would heighten your taste in troll.
You what?
Maybe she should heighten her taste in troll.
Maybe
What do you say?
You know, I'm trying to hear. He said maybe she should heighten her taste in trolls.
I think
correct.
He eats mice and he's on drugs.
You know the term
He eats
hypergamy? You go from like guy to guy to like climb the ladder, like a Vita Peron. There's hypergamy. We need an equivalent term, but instead of it being like sexually, it's like where you just try to like ally with the bigger the troll. So yes, I will be a troll pergamist, and I want to try and find with the highest level of troll that I can find. It could be Melanie Moran.
Called chasing clout. Clout chasing.
I like the part about God
Tommy just
and being a
left. He just
jokester and
left your place.
trickster. I like that part that you were saying earlier about God with the plans, and El Perro even agreed that God can be a jokester. That's true.
I believe God's got an amazing sense of humor.
Yes.
In fact, I have a theory. Life, if you kind of think about it, it's kind of a practical joke. We get life and then it's taken away. We find people we love, and then they disappear. It's kind of some could say a sick joke, maybe the devil's world.
I've experienced this. Like I went to buy a Mercedes when I was 18, and they didn't have the one in the right color that I wanted when I went there, and I was like, God damn, God's playing games again, like it's a joke.
Steven.
Yeah.
What an idiot.
What
do you mean, what an idiot? That's a real life story.
I don't think God's that petty.
It's a true story.
With your car color.
You don't think that God plays jokes like that?
Petty.
Oh, I'm not
No,
petty.
I
Why
think
would you call me
he is
petty?
Murderous, vicious, destroyer.
You eat mice on video, like you're a
that which
Satanist.
offends him.
Please, you guys.
He does.
You guys have no clue, seriously. And if you tried understanding me, you would. You'd have a clue. Matter of fact, you'd know if you actually paid attention and asked me questions about the conclusion.
You just said God has a sense of humor, so how could you shoot down my story? I don't understand. Why would you do that?
I didn't. I'm saying I was more in response to what I heard from Axis, Stephen. God is love.
He eats mice. He eats mice on video.
So what?
Well,
So I
that's
just want to
demonic,
establish
bro.
Dietary
where
supplements
Rose
should
is
not
in terms of
concern you,
clout
little
chasing.
man.
She's
Why
producing
would you
for Tommy
listen to a
last night
demon?
in a place where she was actually producing for Tommy last night, and Tommy is so trying to flex on Jack and Paul for
You're so mental,
whatever.
DeFreak. You're
Okay,
mental.
that
Please.
why don't you just shut up for a second, Vanity? All right. That she's producing for this guy who basically lied about his conversation with EBT and his back and forth, and the stupid dog of his.
Sounds like
That
gossip.
he's exposed himself as a liar, and yet he's trying to sit here and send Rose and Snafu and these other people as Christians against Jack.
What you're talking about.
And it's absolutely ridiculous.
But could you
But
provide?
this is who you're aligned with. This is who you're aligned with, Rose, is a
Well,
fake Christian liar, and you're doing his bidding, and it's absolutely absurd and ridiculous. And that's how low your clout chasing has become. You're at the bottom of the barrel.
I know.
Well
I said
said,
when I got here that I am enjoying being at the gutter, and I like hanging out with misfits. What's wrong with that? It's why I'm the black sheep of my family, because they're all like hoity-toity, and I'm the type that likes hanging out with the drifters and understanding the broken people and things like that. That's my thing. Duh. The freak, or whatever your name is. I don't even know what we were talking about. He was saying something about you don't even know who you're dealing with in the situation with someone's name and someone's name. I don't know any of those people. Sorry, Jack, go ahead.
I understand what I understood him saying. I can appreciate.
Oh, okay. Explain it to me. Can you translate? Because I don't know what the fuck he was just talking about. What
he was
that guy
pointing
saying?
out Tommy's energy, his patterns, and he calls himself a Christian. Him and Snafu, they call themselves Christians. They publicly go out of their way to bastardize Jack. Well, that's not really very Christ-like. And I think what I didn't appreciate is trying to hold you accountable. And I don't see you being deceptive or, doing Tommy's bidding whatsoever. I see you being you.
I'm trying to figure out the whole situation with the Christian thing, because there's the idea of, oh, we all have to love each other and sing kumbaya, but then there's the idea of the righteous anger, right? So I think that if you're a good Christian, it means that you read the Bible and know what they're actually saying. But so many people fight about the interpretation of the Bible. So I guess if someone's main gig is Christianity, they can speak on it, but if you're not familiar with the book, then you should act like you are in the club. So I don't pretend that I'm in the Christian club. I'm just a wannabe who's on the sidelines trying to figure out what is it that possessed them to feel like Jesus died, and then for that reason the sins are removed, and you never talk about that. So just leave it, keep Jesus's name out of your mouth, and then Tommy will be happy if you're not going to actually be doing what Jesus would want you to do. You're not Jesus do right. No, I'm just trying to, I'm like brainstorming right now and thinking out loud, Jack. You're just listening to my stream.
Tommy's in the back.
He's in the back?
Yeah, he showed up.
Okay, please help us. Please. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing up here. Thank God you're here.
Tommy,
you're right, Rose. I've told Jack time after time all he has to do is say he's a new age guru and I wouldn't have a problem with him. He said a lot of stuff on his train wreck last night that he could have brought to me, and he missed a lot of answers I've given him already. So whenever people were saying I'm not a Christian, they'd have to come up and tell me what a Christian is. But Jack,
I can do that. I can answer that, Tom.
Oh, can you? Then why don't you do it?
A Christian is one who follows Christ. One who follows Christ follows his commandments. His commandment was to love one another. Very simple.
Yeah, there's a lot of commandments, and that's what I hold your feet to the fire of. You're not going to sit here and lecture me on a Christianity you showed last night you don't understand. You even sat up there on the Christian side and said that you can't say there's a specific man and woman to the world, Jack, and you just sat here and dodged accountability for all your losses again. You tried to say all your funds and your house and your job, it was all because your representation failed you.
Well, Tom, despite your...
Those things are a thing that you represent.
I don't want to listen to you either. I know this was to bring Tommy, but I'm really... He doesn't want to change his mind. Welcome, Julie.
I had a letter.
Staging him, like,
I wrote you a letter when I first met you that was about Jesus, and I was wondering if I can't read it because it'll drain my spoons. But if somebody else wants to read it up on screen, I feel like it might illuminate. Now it's me judging you on you claiming Jesus and me not being a Christian and all of that. If it calls to you in any way, or I could try reading it on.
Do you think it'll help?
It's calling to me, but only if it resonates with you.
All right.
Then I will share screen. I haven't pre-read it. Again, I feel so much differently about Jack now than I did when I read this or wrote this. I'll just get out of that one. Way too many tabs open. Like multiple recording tabs. All right. Do you want to add the screen there just so people can read it? Well, I might read it wrong. Letter to a man claiming to be Jesus. This is literally the day I met, or maybe the next day after I met Jack. As I told you, I take time to process the bigger message from interactions. This is how I learn and grow. This is how God speaks to me. I can process the inferior gifts of logic and reason in the moment as they come up, but they are just that, inferior. Love and deep wisdom take time. My brain is perfectly imperfect. I do not need it to change. It's exactly what I am supposed to have, and it is doing amazing things. You are not Jesus. Your friends did not betray you. You betrayed them. You acted like a messianic ass and yelled at them. You did so in a postal service. Oh, the deep irony. You are not the persecuted one. You are persecuting others for not acknowledging your own ego. You then started looking like Jesus, not shaving or cutting your hair. It is your interior you should change, not your exterior. Jesus is patient, loving, and kind. You are none of these things when you come up against a small thing not going to plan. Whose plan do you think is unfolding if not God's? Who are you to dictate what that should look like when he himself is guiding what has happened with love and actual wisdom? Actually needs a better word. A single entity like a human being, myself included, cannot comprehend. I wasted your time and kept you from God? God is in every person and in nature in front of you. If you feel peace and love when you are communicated only with God, you should be doing only that until you can maintain your peace in the presence of other humans. I was not judging you or investigating you. I was open to whatever gifts God had in store for our conversation. I received mine and will continue to for the next few days or weeks. Even if I was judging you, how do you think Jesus would respond in that moment? Did Jesus tell anyone they wasted his time? Do you have any idea how many people he taught that did not learn and made fun of him? It was only once people, still far from all, started listening that he was put to death. What you are doing is in direct contradiction to God. You are telling people he is all about love and peace, and then you show them the face of anger and judgment. You ask for help, and then when someone, me and God, gives you what you ask, you act like an ungrateful and angry asshole, which is blasphemy if you claim to be representing God and Jesus to someone. You do not see the world leader, me, right in front of your face. Anyone who listens to their internal truth that God put there is already a world leader. You are a raw, exposed nerve. You are not educated or hold wisdom that I can see, except for that every human I encounter does. You should stay off the internet and commune with God only for 40 days and 40 nights. Put your anger on God. He can handle it. Do not claim to be representing God and put your anger on individual people who are blessing you with their time and energy. I believe that's the end. Oh. Kill your ego, and you may be able to serve humanity in a way you claim to desire. You currently are not a leader in love or logic. Whatever insight you may have are being overshadowed by your massive ego. You need to have balance and be sensitive to others to successfully communicate your experience. And then I linked to the video conversation I believe we had. And like I said, my view of Jack is now completely different, but that was my first impression on you claiming Jesus. And I think it could add to the conversation about Christ and Jesus and how much can we claim him when we're not Christian? And are we expected to represent and be Jesus-like? I think you're both loving and logical now. But at the time, it was like, right, if you can't maintain your composure 24/7, I'm probably now more of a raw exposed nerve. I could probably use 40 days and 40 nights outside of.
I won't deny your observations, because what Jubilee read, she's referring to a conversation that was way back when, right?
Our first meeting.
Yeah. And I have grown since then. And it's no lie. What a hypocrite. Claims love, claims to follow Jesus, and then yelling at people just because they don't understand. That's what I did. I yelled at my son. I yelled at my union reps. I yelled at people in the community because they couldn't understand me. But if anyone from my past would go back and look at me, why is Jack yelling? I mean, he doesn't go around yelling at everybody, so why is he yelling? Oh, could it be because he's been hurt? Could it be because he's kind of afraid? Could it be because he's all alone in this world? I've been trying to find acceptance and community since I found God. I'm still patiently waiting.
But I can see that now, Jack. I can see your patient waiting.
Thank you. It's coming together. Here, I'm going to bring these others up. Tommy and Rose stepped away. I do appreciate your patience.
You know, I would advise people to go over and look at that snafu video. Check it out. Because this Charles guy that speaks about Jack, regardless of what you think about Jack today, Charles actually speaks of Jack rather highly. The problem in that is that Jack is one guy, Charles is another guy, and they have a specific relationship, and it is neither psychiatric nor psychological. So when he converts the conversation from Jack and his relationship to his mental state, he is not qualified.
Well, thank you. And here's the reality. Yes, and thank you for reminding me. When Snafu first brought up the union president, I said a bunch of things about J.R. Weil. I stand behind those words, but I spoke about the wrong man. And Charles Smith, I didn't say much about him the other day. I said he was selfish, and I still see that. I still stand by that. But Charles is a man who I've admired, cared about. I respect Charles a lot. He helped me become a better representative, a better officer for the steward, and what he said was true. I was not a big deal, but I was kind of growing. I was a bigger fish in a small pond, and I used to have a lot of respect. And so the fact that I face these doubts and insanity from people who don't know me. I mean, yeah, had relationships online with some people for a few years, maybe even had a couple of phone calls offline, but I don't know what God's got planned for us. I do know that love is the answer. Love is leading me forward through time. My practice every day now. I surrender myself to God. God, my future is in your hands. What do I do? How do I serve you? Now, it's hard to stay strong and happy and cheerful when you get a lot of negative feedback. You don't get much compassion. I mean, truly, that's what I was dealing with. I lost my family, I lost my career. I was in pain. Yet, I'm to blame. And I am. I'm to blame because I yelled at people who I didn't know. I made mistakes.
You know, and what surprises me is, you know, all the stuff that's presented to Jack about how people should fear him. Those people that are posing that fear, supposedly, and yet there's no record of it anywhere. You guys should fear me more than Jack. Jack doesn't have a criminal record. No assaults, no nothing.
Do you have a criminal record? Hello. Do you have a criminal record, El Perro? Why'd you mention that? Well,
I'm trying to point out the fact that everybody seems to think that Jack is this insane, delusional, violent guy that you should be afraid of. And there's not one stitch of evidence anywhere. And yet we have all these people, Margot, Snafu, Chemo, all these people presenting this concept that he is. There's not one shred of evidence.
But see, this is the thing, El Perro, you're right. There's no evidence, and they say these things about me, but they know they're not afraid of me. Margot says she's so afraid for all the children in her school, but she's not afraid of me. She's full of shit.
Absolutely. If she was afraid of you, she would prove it in concept and not have anything to do with you. Instead, she comes up on panels. She wants to meet with you.
Does Snafu fear you?
Past tense. This was past tense.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
She's changed, right?
Margot's
changed.
Certainly. Yeah. And Snafu, I don't think he's afraid of me. He's jealous. He feels guilt, maybe. He feels inner lower self-worth. I make him feel bad about himself. That's what it is. So since he feels bad because of me, he wants me to feel bad, wants me to look bad. This is what the egos do. This is what the devil does. Since the devil got made to look bad, kicked out of heaven, he wants to make sure everyone else looks bad. So he'll bring people to bring accusations. He'll bring ideas of temptations. I don't have any problems with the devil within me anymore.
Do you think Snafu might have a crush on you or something, or is it just jealousy?
I actually think it's spiritual.
Oh.
Because of here's the reality. I'm unproven. I'm not overselling myself. I am unproven, but I'm also in some ways untested because I have not had a true client who wanted to learn from me. If Snafu spent a couple of hours with me trying to understand what I'm saying instead of arguing over stupid thoughts and accusations, Snafu could change very quickly, very easily.
Well, you guys have conversations offline and private, right? As I understand it.
He calls and talks. He doesn't listen an awful lot. Kind of like
El Perro, were you arrested for talking to that sack in public, or what were your arrests? You said we should fear you. Why should we fear you?
There's 94 cases on there, all the way from assault, disorderly, robbery, you name it.
Here
on your record. So you're saying to people, we should fear you then. We shouldn't fear Jack, but we should fear El Perro?
What I'm saying, if you should fear anyone, it would be somebody like me with a criminal history, and not somebody like Jack that doesn't have a criminal history. Why would you fear Jack?
Right.
I don't fear Jack or you.
He doesn't even own a gun.
Okay.
Yeah. And God, you're totally missing the point, Stephen. I don't, and I'm not.
Jack, just give me a minute. Just a second. I just want to say, if I was old Joe asking these questions, you would be open to it. I think that sometimes
I'd be open to you talking to El Perro, asking El Perro about his danger and when he explained his point. You didn't pay attention to the point. You deflected and distracted to go back to El Perro. This is what has been frustrating me with you, Stephen, is you're so quick to engage in side conversation.
I'm just trying to get to the truth.
You think of thoughts, you're not paying attention to what Jack is doing, and you're being moved by your thoughts. I'm not trying to be critical either. I'm just, for the love of God.
I'm 100% here in the present, but I want the truth. So when he said,
all right, I don't need to keep repeating it. Thank you, Stephen. We're going to move on, because that's the point I was trying to get across. Praise God, man. Guys, there's something going on. It's called life. God is doing it. We get to decide what we see, what we find, what we do. And if people want to find problems, guess what they're going to find? If you want to allow someone to be and look for the good, you can. That's what changed my life. I stopped judging everyone so much. And guess what? I started noticing myself. Hey, oh shit, Jack, you got some things to improve yourself. Maybe you ought to focus on you. That's what I've been doing. And so I've learned some things with my time alone in solitude, my studies, my life lessons. I've learned a few things. I'm trying to share them freely.
And that's why he's telling all you ones that don't want to follow along to fuck off. He's trying to fix himself. Don't you see? I see progress in Jack too. I think it's working. I don't think he's failed.
No, I'm just getting started.
I agree.
Hey, 5-Speed to Freak, you guys have been in the back for a while. What, you have anything on your hearts, your minds?
Sure. The way that you interacted with Brenda last night after the debate is testimony to how you actually are even treating these retards right now. It was one of the best kind of exchanges that I've seen on Discord in a very long time. And so I appreciate that. And of course, we're talking about the trans person that came up here a couple times, and everyone else was literally giving that person the trailer trash treatment that they always come up here with. But you were the only one that was, patient, kind, trying to listen, even though, there was interruptions all over the place and everything else. And I just want to give you a little credit for that because of what I just heard from El Perro and you were just talking about. But I have so much to say right now. I don't even know where to start. But, Tommy, you've been exposed. You're a liar. You're willing to lie on me and EBT and his mother just to try and make a point and carry some kind of favor with your audience. Well, you're exposed now, and now you're under the curse. And so, you could do whatever you want to kind of gish gallop around and lie and prattle around and get a team and coordinate and conspire and everything. It's not going to work, man. You should just apologize to Jack and move on to someone else. All right. But you're going to be stupid. You're going to double down. And we know how this works. And you're under the curse. And, that's the reality of that's the fact of the matter, as a matter of fact. So I'm just going to leave on that.
The Freak, thank you. I am going to start wrapping up, though. Please, go ahead.
Just based on my observation of this panel verse, kind of something I've gathered, there seems to be an element of design behind people's actions with the intent of an outcome. And most times, than not, it would seem destructive and not building. But that's all. Thanks.
Thank you, brother. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to drop 5.
I got to say, I watched that debate last night too. And when the guy was talking, when you brought in the concept of the mind and knowledge, and it sits in a cup. And he said that if you take away the cup, then there is no knowledge. Okay, this is why I raised the question to Breakfast Tacos, and he wasn't intellectually honest with it because he didn't post the question and he left out the context of the cup. Because my question was, if we have evidence that we have life because we live, then we know there is a source of life. There is something that created that life. We don't know exactly what it is, but by reason and logic, we know there must be a source of life. Same thing with the knowledge in the cup. There's a source of knowledge. It's not the cup. The cup is merely what holds it. Our life, our presence here, our existence is what holds the evidence that there's a source of life. You did a great job last night, Jack. I appreciate you. Be blessed.
Much love to you, brother. Appreciate you sincerely. Got a couple of guests in the back. I will give them at least the opportunity. Stephen, thank you.
Thank you, Jack, for bringing me back on and letting me have some last words before the show's over. I would like to keep it positive and just say to everyone, I hope you have a good week, and thanks for having me on. When El Perro was talking about 2 girls in 1 cup, he kind of lost me on that. I don't know what he was getting at.
He was talking about.
Oh, it wasn't?
No.
Oh, he mentioned cup.
Right.
I misheard him, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, thanks for having me on, and everyone have a beautiful day, and mad love to good spirits and to all my fans in my kingdom. Thank you, and take care.
Thank you, Stephen. Appreciate you. And I'll take a chance and see how this goes.
Jack tells. So, Jack, I got a question.
Yeah.
You're blaming me because I'm the only one who's bringing people of your past, which is what Jack Tells is about. Your ex-bosses, family.
No, Snafu. I'm blaming you because of your behavior. You're a false witness. You're a liar. You're a deceiver. You're serving the darkness. You're serving the confusion. When you go around gossiping and spreading lies, and I'm not just talking to Snafu now. Now I'm talking to anyone who's willing to listen. When you go around spreading gossip and negativity, condemning others behind, talking shit, you're revealing you. If you're not an honest person, where is your value? And if you see yourself being dishonest, argumentative, real negative all the time, it's time to reevaluate, because we live in a world of insanity. It is insane to tell lies. The facts demonstrate that. There are consequences to your thoughts, your words, your actions. If you don't do what's necessary to do, meaning the due diligence, meaning inquiry, meaning truly finding the facts, if you don't do what you need to do, that side, or take the actions to prove your words are true, what are you doing? I've been paying attention to me, to the words I say, to the words I feel, and to the world around me. And brothers and sisters, I want to tell you sincerely, if you can allow yourself to trust me, not even trust me, trust yourself. If you can trust yourself enough to understand what I'm saying, you can trust the truth. But if you can't trust me to be accurate or correct, or if you can't trust yourself to be able to understand a simple man like me, well, then you're not going to accept it. You're not going to know. And what I've learned is the truth. The sensitive souls of this world, those with a fierce passion for justice and a sharp eye for patterns and deception, I've been blessed. I've lived in a world of deception and patterns where you better pay attention. So I've been developed. We, those of you who are like me, where we have developed ourselves and studied ourselves, kind of grown into this world that we're living, those of you who are like me, we are uniquely made for these particular strange times. There's a perfection to the order of time that you and I, we are a part of. There is a kind of magic. It's woven into our madness. Is it not mad and insane to deny moments of love? I mean, if you have a moment to love here in the moment, to be grateful, to breathe, to be, if you have that ability and you don't take it, if you don't allow yourself to be with love, if you don't allow yourself to rest in God, in the moment of the present, where the presence of God always is, because God is. God is the first person at all time. God is the I am. I am filled with love. I am filled with joy. I am filled with appreciation and an absolute delight in you. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to wrap it up here. Sincerely to all of you who've joined. Today was, wow, kind of reviewing Jack and my energies. I'm remembering I had a shift. This was kind of a roller coaster day of today. And Rose, the special guest, not mine, our special guest today. Rose, you are awesome. Your encouragement, your light, your joy, and your ability to communicate. I love it. And I love you, all of you. Thank you again. Yeah, I think that's it. I'll ask the algorithm stuff, do that stuff to help if you will. Otherwise, stay tuned. We'll see what happens in the future. Until then, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. Thank you again. God bless us all. Love wins. I didn't get into that much. Tomorrow. Peace.